What is up, everybody? Picker Goose here, and today I'm going to show you two examples of two awful sellers I dealt with lately. Maybe the two worst that have given me the biggest headaches I've ever dealt with ever, and they both happen in the same week. Actually, their packages arrived one day apart from each other, and it's crazy up in here. I'm telling you, it's nuts. So do me a favor. I do have a Twitter. I'm going to link that in the description below, and I'm going to start an Instagram up. I'm going to link that in the description below. We love to talk about scammers, crappy buyers, all that stuff, and they're out there. I'm not saying they're not, but we don't talk about all the crappy sellers out there. So I'm going to talk about two today. The first one we'll call Ralph. The second one we'll call Steve. Steve sounds like a good name. So Ralph, I purchased a lot of toy trains from, and there's probably about 15 of the trains or so, and I was going to, so one train was going to pay for everything. Almost. I would get within like $2 or $3 of paying everything off. So I wasn't going to make that much. It was only like really valuable train in there. I probably would have made 60 bucks total, but it's, you know, it's whatever. So I purchased it. Everything seemed to be fine. The way I purchased it was he had an auction, one of the auctions where you can actually send in an offer. I made an offer and he accepted. So it's important to point out he agreed to this sale at the offer I sent to him, right? So I get my package today. How do you think he mailed me this package? In a box? No. In a box inside of an envelope? No. Padded flat rate shipping box, packed to the brim with fragile trains in it. It gets worse. He sold the trains as is, which I had no problem with. So if the motorized trains didn't work, he would never heard from me again. Whatever. A lot of the trains are broken because this is not really great padding. This is something, you know, that's not meant for electronics that are fragile, and I know I just call it toy train electronic, whatever. And especially a whole bunch of them where it's like filling up at the brim. You don't even put cardboard in there. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, and here's the crazy thing. He has over 1,000 feedback. He is not a newbie, and it's all 100%. It's all 100% feedback. Like, what is this nonsense? Because that's what it is. It is nonsense. Here's the message I sent him. I'm going to read it out verbatim. You tell me if I did anything wrong here. I wanted to message you to try and resolve my issue without escalation. I don't like it when buyers automatically escalate on me without giving them a chance to make things right with any potential issues they might have. The condition you listed was okay. I expected the trains was somewhere, even not working, when I put the batteries in. I know how to repair them. I know how to repair some of them for some issue. That doesn't matter. That's no problem. However, you mailed all of this in an envelope. Brackets, why not a box? And several other trains and several other trains were damaged in shipping due to them all being shoved into an envelope with little to no padding for some of the trains. Please advise. I think that's a pretty good message to send. Let's back a bit. You know, I was flustered, but I wasn't too bad. I don't think I was brutal on him. Here's a message I received back, folks. Well, I'm not exactly a professional on trains. They looked in okay shape to me. I shipped them in that envelope to make the shipping cheaper. I paid for the shipping, by the way. If they went in a box, it would have went by weight, and you would have to pay way more. Like close to $20. I also gave you multiple discounts on the price. I don't know where whatever. I think it was pretty fair. The price was fair, I agree. I also changed the auction to make sure that you can get them without having to bid against anyone else. Well, you accepted an offer that you were willing to take. Let's move on. I mean, I'm sorry you're not 100% satisfied with the trains, but I did bend over backwards to let you buy those trains. What? Okay. I also listed them at a buy now price and accepted your offer, which was half. Well, that's your fault, dude. Even though you had previously offered a different amount and canceled it. I really tried everything I could to make you happy with your purchase. Now, he's not exactly wrong here with some of the stuff, but he's leaving out that he literally took a bunch of things that are condition-based together and threw them into an envelope. He does not address that. And folks, this is what you should never do as a seller. This is just terrible. So here's what I said. So I'm kind of flustered. I'm going to be a little bit of a smart, you know what. You don't need to be an expert to realize that fragilist trains would get damaged in an envelope and not arrive in the condition as described. Some of the trains are fine. We agreed to a price, which I paid right away. And I paid for the trains in okay condition, which they would have been in if they weren't all smashed up and damaged in shipping. But that's not what I received. I can provide pictures for you if you'd like to see how they arrived. First message he sent me, he was kind of talking about like price I paid and giving me such a great deal, and that's not the issue at heart. So, and I'm kind of long-winded, as you all can tell. So I got straight to the point. I sent another message just to clarify. These were damaged in shipping due to poor packaging and did not arrive as described. This is his response, and this is where he really gets me heated. What would you suggest? I already sold them to you half price. Tell me how to fix it. What? Here's what I say. I'm willing to return for a refund, but you'd have to cover the return shipping. I don't want to pay for it here because it was 100% his fault. I could also do a half refund to cover the broken pieces, but since some of the pieces did not break, I'm okay paying for them. I'm usually not one who likes I know there's a lot of scammers out there, so give me half refund, give me half refund. Clearly that's not what's happening here. Why should I be out of money because you failed to properly package something? Again, if they arrived in the condition you stated and I could not repair them, I'd own it and you would never hear a peep out of me. My responsibility is to pay for the items which I committed to buying, which I did, quickly. Your responsibility is to get the items to the buyer in the condition as listed, which you did not do. I'm not the one who dropped the ball here, you are. The price we both agreed to is completely irrelevant to the situation. How we reached that price is also irrelevant. He's just hammering in on giving me such a good deal. Like, that's not, it's completely, has nothing to do with anything here. I'm trying to be nice by reaching out to you before escalating because as a fellow seller, I want to give you that courtesy. I'm trying to work with you here, which I honestly am. A lot of people just would have negged and just returned for a refund right away and not even give you a chance. I don't think that's cool. Let me know what you think is appropriate for this situation. Again, I will provide pictures if you want me to. So at this point, I'm giving him two options that I think are pretty fair. I can return it and he will give me a full refund, but he's covering that return shipping price, or he can just give me half a refund and we'll call it a day because roughly half the trains are broken, half of them weren't, and I think that's pretty reasonable and fair. So he then goes on to agree with the half refund, tells me to have a nice day, and we go about our business. Folks, this is a terrible way of doing business, and I want to mention something. As is means the condition they were in when you listed them and when I bought them. If it breaks on the way to me, it is no longer as it is. It's as it was, because they are no longer in that condition. Like I said, if I purchase something and I'm going to repair it and resell it and I can't do it, I eat that loss. And I have no issues, sucking it up, Buttercup, right? Because that's the way it works, but not in this situation. So that was really bad. It's gonna get worse. That was in my opinion, and you all can let me know in the comments below, that was actually not the worst seller I ran into. That was today. The other seller was yesterday. Our second seller, we're gonna call him Steve. So I'm not even done with Steve yet. It's still an ongoing situation, by the way, because I don't know what he's up to. Steve is terrible at communicating. Basically what happened is on the 16th, I went an auction that Steve is running, and I'm looking to make about 45 bucks on it. Probably closer to 40. It's not great, but it's whatever. It's 3 items in that, and that's important. That's going to come into play later on. So 5 days go by, I don't hear from Steve. White noise. Okay. The global situation is going on. Post office is backed up. Steve could be stressed out, sick, friends, family, whatever. I'm gonna give Steve the benefit of the doubt. I'm not gonna message him nothing. Steve messages me out of the blue on the 21st, and here's what he says. I'm so sorry for the delay. I've been out of town. We'll be shipping out today. Again, I'm so sorry. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? Who cares? No big deal. Here's what I tell him, and I really mean this too. Things happen. I said, not a problem. I'm in no rush. Stay safe. No big deal. Thank you so much, and the same to you. 21st, he says he's going to ship it out. Does not get scanned at the post office until the 25th, 4 days later. Here's the thing. I don't mean like it wasn't updated. I mean like he didn't even print it out. At this point, I'm like, this guy's just unorganized. Seems like a nice enough guy. He's unorganized. Whatever. I'm gonna let this one slide because I really don't like, I know I seem like I give sellers a hard time. I really don't. I've left one neg as a buyer ever on eBay. And I've been on eBay for like 20 years now. Let's move on. I'm like, cool. Packages in the mail. Whatever. Here's what he sends me on the 27th. So this is 2 days ago from when I'm filming this, and I received the package yesterday. So a day before I get the package, he says, "Hi, I don't know if you have received your order yet, but please forgive me. I think I might have forgotten one of the items in your order. If so, please let me know, and I will ship it out again. Again, sorry for the inconvenience." Oh boy. I'm not even mad at this. I'm really not mad at Steve. I'm frustrated because I think he's unorganized and is going to probably be banned or something if he's not careful for awful customer service. But you know what? He's not giving me like crap like Ralph did. Steve's not doing that. So I sent him a message back. Hey, I received the package today, and you're right, the third item wasn't in it, which it wasn't. And again, with this 50% refund crap that I hate doing, but I'm trying to cut this dude a break, just like I was trying to cut the other guy a break. If you want, we could do a 50% refund, and you don't have to worry about shipping it out. It was the least expensive thing in there, and it probably would have only brought me in an extra $10 to $15, so I really was kind of reluctantly okay not receiving it. Or you can ship it out if you want, right? Let me know what you'd like to do. You think I've heard from Steve yet? Not a chance. So here's the thing, I'm giving Steve options now that I think, again, are reasonable. I sound like such a pain in the ass. I'm giving him options here that I think are reasonable. You did not ship one of the things out, and you know it, and I know it. And option one, you just give me a 50% refund, right? You didn't ship everything out you're supposed to. We'll call it a day. Give me 50% refund. I think that's fair. Here's the other thing that I think is really reasonable. Hey man, just ship it out again. No problem. I'm not going to pay for you to ship it out again. I mean, you're going to have to pay for that, but that's no issue. I don't mind. If one of the pieces just comes a little bit later, I don't care at the end of the day. I haven't heard from him yet. Oh, it gets a lot worse, folks. Wait till you see how he shipped this package to me. You should really get the P off of that word and put it in a T, and that's how he packaged this. When I saw the box, this is what the box looked like. This red is not a part of the box. He actually put like sheets of what do you call this? Cardboard paper? No, not cardboard paper. Construction paper, and actually taped it with duct tape all around the outside of this box. I have no clue why. I don't get it. And this duct tape was all over the top of the box. I see this, and I did kind of rearrange it now because I'm trying to hide labels. So this is what he packaged it with. First of all, this is like this is not going to do anything for the items I bought. They're like, one's kind of big and bulky, and one of them is, you know, like not, and one of them he didn't pack, so that one doesn't matter. He used this for the side as cushion. Ooh, almost drop it. This I actually don't have any real huge issues with. I would never do this, but I mean, it's whatever. This on the bottom of the box is, I don't get it. But here's the problem. And can I point out he has one random thing of this in there. Please, please. It's illogical. It's like he's trying to F with me right now. He is totally effing with me on this whole entire order. So the problem is that all this stuff was literally just shoved in, and it did not prevent anything inside from shifting around. So even though this looks highly unprofessional, and like he just took his garbage and dumped it in, if it was safely packaged, I really wouldn't care. And the things were shifting inside, and it did kind of damage one of the things I got a little bit. It wasn't too bad. But still, this is ridiculous. So, one of the things he actually used to ship with, hang on folks, this. And it gets even crazier. So, not only does he use this, like, he randomly puts this on top, but it doesn't cover the whole box. So, like, what's the point? Because stuff can still, and he didn't even close it, so it was like opened, right? Where if you put even the slightest bit of pressure, it caves in. If it was like square like this side, I would totally understand why he did it. But Steve is from Pennsylvania, and this box is addressed from a lady in New York to a dude in Ohio. Steve's in Pennsylvania. Is this, where did he get this box from? Like, I'm telling you people, it's craziness in here. Oh, and then he handwrites my, and I'm not going to show this because I don't want to show you this innocent person's address. So he actually handwrites my address on a piece of construction paper. And when I took that off, there was somebody else's name and address underneath it on a sheet of construction paper. Like, it boggles my mind. So Steve, if you're watching this, saying no, you know, 2 questions for you. How did you figure out how to work a computer? Because apparently you don't know how to do much else. Second, I don't know if I want to sit down and have a cup of coffee with Steve or not. I kind of do, and, you know, to pick his brain, but then I'm afraid of what I'm going to learn by picking his brain because it's completely illogical. Nothing here makes sense. So as of right now, Steve's in no danger of getting a neg. At the end of the day, you know, a little bit of damage, not one thing, is not that big of a deal. The other thing received fine. And if I get my other thing or I get my 50% refund, Steve, you're still okay in my book, even if you're incompetent. So that is what not to do. Those are my 2 awful experiences with eBay sellers. I hope you all like this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and like always, I will catch you on the flip side.